Welcome to the Legendary Upside YouTube channel. My name is Pat Crane. You can follow all of my content at legendaryupside.com. With me today will be Jakob Sanderson. He's going to be jumping on here shortly, but didn't want to keep everybody waiting any longer. So going to go ahead and kick off the stream. Jakob went to make coffee. He'll be here soon. So yeah, we're about to kick this draft off in 10 seconds out of the 103. May have to make the first pick myself, but I've got an idea of who Jakob likes at the top, so I think we'll be okay there. How's everyone doing today? Throw some questions in the chat. I'll get to those before Jakob gets here. All right, we're kicking it off. We got the good morning, GM. We're gonna slap it up. So let's see. Bijan falls here. Who went to? Barkley. Okay. I'm going to throw Gibbs in the queue. I know Jakob loves Gibbs. This is going to be my attempt to take who I think Jakob would take here. It would be either Jakob or CeeDee Lamb, I think. It would be Jakob. It would be either Jameer Gibbs or CeeDee Lamb. But let's go Gibbs. Been trying to get more Gibbs. I know Jakob likes to get Gibbs. So Jameer Gibbs out of the 103. Full PPR over here, you know? People forget. So, okay. Let me get the board up. McCaffrey going 5 is interesting. So Lamb's going to fall to 6. There's just a lot more variance over here in terms of where players go, which is nice. You know, it's a little bit, mixes it up. A little more variety, a little more spice. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. CeeDee Lamb falling to 6. Really isn't crazy. You know, it feels great if you're at 6. Let's see if he actually takes him. He does. We got Justin Jefferson probably next off the board. Puka is there at the top of the sidekick. I think the discount should really be over on Puka, but I am trying to push him a little bit. Like if I probably would IKB there, just getting greedy a little bit and seeing if I can still use this ADP to get him in the second. Kyle Dvorchak's been talking about second round Puka on DraftKings for a while, which I haven't really seen, but I would like to see. I would like to see it on my teams. Morning, Clay. Jakob will be here for anyone who missed that. He's making coffee. So I took Gibbs to kind of get it started on the Jakob Sanderson track, and then we'll see. I mean, at this point, I might have to make 2 picks here. Might even make 3. What kind of coffee do you think Jakob's making? It's clearly not like a Keurig type of situation. French press? Now, when he makes the coffee and he knows he has an 8:30 stream, do you think that he like lets the coffee steep, you know, for the 5 to 10 minutes that you're supposed to let it steep? Or do you think he just pours the hot water in and brings it over? Because this isn't a pour over, right? A pour over is a 2-3 minute operation. Do you think he's brewing it in a machine and he's just standing over by the machine right now, waiting for it to finish up? I'm pretty curious. He's not sleeping. He has messaged me, so I know he's not. I know he's awake. Yeah, I think he's steeping a French press. That's my guess. He's in like a little. Ooh, what if this is over an open fire in the Canadian wilderness? He's got one of those, you know, tin cups. Is that what he's doing? He's just boiling water. That might be why it's taken so long. Tapping a maple tree beside a moose. I mean, you would not believe how good the coffee is when you tap it from a maple tree. Okay, here's Jakob. Jakob, we're
all right. I'm okay with Jameer Gibbs. Sorry, I hadn't heard from you, like, you know, so I was like, maybe you're caught up with the nanny. And then but you're ready to go.
Yeah, sorry. My podcast etiquette is if we say 8:30, I'll be there at exactly 8:30 with a link.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
We were discussing. Okay, Bowers here.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah. Bowers here. Sorry, I have not drafted a team on DraftKings literally the entire year. And I just wasn't prepared for what I was seeing. Like I saw like Trevion Henderson go the pick before us.
Yeah, it's wild over here. It's wild.
Yeah. Bowers is obviously the pick.
So I was wondering if you would want Gibbs or Lamb or Bijan fell. You would have taken Gibbs. Okay, good. I guess right.
Gibbs. I have Gibbs 102. Yeah, my apologies to bring you behind the curtain. At like 8:27, I hadn't heard anything from Pat. And like what we talked yesterday was like a bit of a soft 8:30. You were like 8:30 is the earliest I could do. So I thought like might not be 8:30. And then I didn't hear from you, and I was like, maybe it'll be 8:45. And then I was like, I'll run across the Starbucks and get a coffee.
Oh,
like,
running across
the link. Yeah.
So I was guessing different types of way that you were making coffee and why it was taking more than a couple minutes. Sorry. I thought maybe a French press.
No.
Then I was wondering if maybe you were outside.
I didn't have any beans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
French press is my typical move. So, not hating, but.
Oh, man.
All right.
I do usually use the French press, but all right. Let's see here. What's the best wide receiver available?
Top of the sidekicks: Tyreek, Garrett Wilson, JSN. I know you're not a big Tyreek guy.
Yeah, Higgins I guess I would be. Man, this kind of stinks.
Yeah, I do think we grab one of these guys though.
All right, let's just take Tyreek.
Okay, sweet.
All right.
Didn't think you were going to say that.
Yeah, well, I'm also not a big JSN guy.
Okay. Yeah, I know Tyreek's risky, but like on a build like this, if you have Bowers, Gibbs, and then like if Tyreek's obviously like you're not even asking for him to be 2023 Tyreek, but if he's just like competing with, AJ Brown, you're like golden.
Yeah, I'm not really a big any of these guys guy on Underdog, but with DraftKings, the full PPR, it's a little harder to justify going 0 wide receivers through 3. So, like on Underdog, if I was in this spot, I went Gibbs, Bowers. I'm probably just clicking a Marion Hampton in the 3rd and figuring it out. But that just makes it less exciting.
I will say, like, DraftKings generally, I did this yesterday in a draft where I think I had 3 wide receivers and 3 running backs and a tight end, I think McBride, through 7 rounds. And then you could just do like 8, 9, 10, 11 receivers. Like those receivers are the receivers that we take in round 7. It's like all 4 rounds are like guys we take in round 7. So it's
so maybe we should have just taken a Marion Hampton. I don't know.
No, I still think you want like you don't want to fall behind because full PPR and everything. You don't want to fall behind, but you can be like if it's a horse race, right? Like you can kind of pace right behind the other horses and then
Pony's
get ahead there.
Here after
the
horse race.
One trip to Del Mar is all it took. I used to go to Saratoga every summer. That was
nice.
Yeah, not the only time I've been to the racetrack, but
I'm also like a little bit insane right now because there's this national project we're doing right now with our firm, and the result was that I had to volunteer to be on a call at 4:30 a.m. today.
Yikes.
And so then I get up and I get on the call, and the person says, "Yeah, actually, we canceled the call, but sorry, we didn't let you know."
Oh. Oh, that's so brutal.
So I'm like, what? I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I went back to sleep. But
were you able to get back to sleep?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay. God.
Yeah. I just literally, so me at like 4:43 a.m. I'm like in bed watching the Sean Siegel main event, like letting his adults
like that was so
put
good.
Me back to sleep.
That was a very fun main event. Have you gotten to where I went to?
Yeah. So I watched most of it prior to going to sleep the first time last night. And then I finished it out this morning. It was great. It was also, I know you guys didn't end up taking him. You took boring Jaylen Warren, but Ben was like roasting me last night. Once I think he had finally found the main event and realized that it was me who first suggested BCM in the 8th. And then to see that you guys like almost took him again in the 8th, and then he went at the 9-1. I was like, see, like, I feel vindicated. This wasn't just a fever dream.
No, I think the people, all due respect to Ben, that it's just like it's sticker shock from where he was going before. He's going to be higher than that in Vegas. Whether that's good or not, it's a separate debate. But the idea that it's like some crazy slappy reach, like I really think we just saw where the market's going. If you want him, this is what it's going to take, and why mess around? If we're right, it doesn't matter if it's an 8th or a 10th or a 11th. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I'll give Ben credit. Like the case that I've made is basically if you were willing to click Brian Robinson in like the 8th round, and when he had a rookie on his heels, and we knew he was like a total jag, why would you not be willing to click the rookie where Brian Robinson was going when he's competing with Chris Rodriguez, who they cut twice last year? And then Ben had a good comeback to that, which was, well, I wouldn't have clicked Brian Robinson.
Well, yeah,
40s. So I was like, okay, well, fair enough. So, and I mean, I wasn't clicking Brian Robinson at his cost, but I had him ranked like 20 picks behind ADP. Whereas Gretsch is like, I had him ranked 60 picks behind ADP.
One of the reasons,
like, okay, you win.
One of the reasons that Ben, is right to not be taking Brian Robinson was that he might lose his job to someone. But like JCM's not going to lose his job. JCM's the job taker. I mean, I guess he could stink. There is a risk, but like, we take him on that risk all the time with rookies because there's a lot of upside. Like he actually has speed. The way Sean put it, he's like, if you have speed and you're next to Jaden Daniels, I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty encouraging. I mean, and Chris Rodriguez is like, I don't mind him, but he's like a Brian Robinson type. Like he is also like a confident plotter. So like if they want something different than Brian Robinson.
All right, we're on the clock.
Who we got here?
Pickens, DJ Moore at the top of the sidekick. Kenneth Walker.
I like Walker.
Brees Hall.
I go running back again.
I would rather take Pickens and try to push the running back because I also like Brees, but Walker probably does go if you want to take him.
No, let's do Pickens. That's fine.
Okay.
I like Pickens a lot too.
Walker's not going to come back, but
have you been handling Brees? I don't know if I've talked to you one-on-one.
I've been taking him. Late 4th. I will take him mid 4th, but I definitely feel like a little bit more of a slappy there. But late 4th, I feel pretty confident that it's a good pick. And then if he falls to the 5th, I think it's a smash. Like I'm trying to like zoom out and put myself in December and like look back at what was actionable and what was like silly. And I think it's actionable to move Brees down, that he's not going to get like all the work and be like a 3-down workhorse. But I think it's silly to wonder if he's just going to play behind Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen. That's to me very silly. He was really, really good 2 years ago. Little banged up last year, not quite as efficient.
And elite throughout college, right? I mean, we have like a 5-year sample
elite prospect.
Iowa State in the first year of the Jets.
So Jalen Hurts comes back.
You have to.
We're on the clock here.
We're back already. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, we should probably just do Hurts, right?
Just probably do Hurts, right?
Yeah. I also noticed last night with Sean was the first time you guys didn't draft Jameson Williams in the early 5th.
Were you jealous?
Yeah, I was a little upset. I was like, I'm watching it. I'm like, sure, now you break ties against Jameson Williams.
Well, to be fair, it was Sean who actually brought up Laporta.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I was like taking notes. I was like, who are names I should bring up next time that Jameson Williams?
How do you get us off Jameson?
Yeah, I was like, okay, Sam Laporta.
I feel like we have enough Jameson now.
Yeah. No, it's an awesome team. Loved it. Did you guys end up drafting Jalen Lane, or did you guys actually not do that?
We didn't do Jalen Lane. We thought about it, but we didn't do it.
You guys got to get out Jalen Lane chair. He's going to be so good.
Vivian has made her way into the room.
Nice. Hey, Vivian. We got another side pick now.
She wanted to be on stream, man. She's a born streamer.
Nice. Born to stream.
Born to stream.
Yeah.
What were you saying? We were kind of finishing up the Brees combo.
Yeah, I was interested to hear your perspective because you, like me, were drafting the shit out of him previously, and so it's a little uncomfortable, you know, when a player you have a big bag of starts plummeting down the board. And I think I mostly land where you land. I think he has to be moved down. The fact that like they've kind of forecasted the week 1 plan is this committee in which Brees is handling,
which I believe them on.
Of carries and is not playing on 3rd and longs, and who knows what that portends for the 2-minute drill. That's like meaningful information. And so then it kind of just becomes like, yeah, I mean, if you look at just his like week 1 role, he basically is going to have like a kind of a round 6 level week 1 role. So it's like, how much am I willing to just bet blindly on the talent, which I still really believe in, changing that role over time, you know, as this coaching staff starts to actually see these players play on a day-to-day basis. And I think there are other supreme talents going in the 4th that I'm more interested in taking over him, that I think have clear paths. Like I view Henderson as a guy that I'm targeting over Hall now. I view Walker as a guy I'm targeting over Hall now. But, you know, I think once you get past that group, like I'm never going to click Chuba over Hall or Kamara over Hall. I think that, you know, this group of wide receivers, he kind of just fits within that. And it kind of comes down to team need. And also just functionally, like I have so much that I'd like to get my discount for my remainder of my Brees Hall shares. But yeah, 4 or 5 turn, I think it's probably where I'm going.
I think I have a little less than you, because he wasn't a priority target for me at 3-4. He was more of like a big target for me in early 4, and he moved up to that 3-4 range. It's not like I wasn't taking him, but I just wasn't like absolutely slamming him there. So, I'm not sure he does have a 6th round role. It is maybe part of it for me. Like I think his role is going to be like kind of James Cook-ish, you know, maybe with more receiving. Like I think
it's going to be a lot like James Cook, but like James Cook kind of has a 6th round role. He's just on the Bills.
True. That's a good point. I bet you he outscores Henderson in the first, 3 to 4 or 5 weeks. I think he's going to have a better role than Henderson out of the gate.
That's an interesting case. I'm not sure if I agree with that or not. Because Henderson's going to he's going to actually play 3rd downs. He's going to for sure play the 2-minute. I don't know if Brees.
That's true.
Henderson will be like piling up snaps and trail script. I'm not sure if Brees will. Let's make our picks here and then.
Well, yeah, I'm actually trying to distract myself. Let's go, dude. Travis Hunter's here.
Ooh. Oh my God! Welcome to DraftKings.com. It's rocks.
Well, I wrote up Travis Hunter. This is great because I can tell the article that I just published this morning. I wrote up an article talking about guys to target on DraftKings because of the Q tag. Travis Hunter being the cover boy there.
And it's the biggest Q tag ever. Like they're like, if it was week 1, he would for sure play. Also, week 1's in 2 weeks, but he would be down right now. It's just the preseason.
They're expecting to have him back for joint practices next week. Like it's not a serious injury at all. It's upper body, but there's like this whole backlash to Travis Hunter because people are crazy. And they're like, see, this is what you happen. Player 2 ways. It's like, as Jeff Mueller concluded a tweet where he was like, if you're worried about overuse, it would be lower body or soft tissue. It wouldn't be upper body. Like, give me a break. Right. So the whole thing's crazy. He's legitimately falling. Like, some of these Q tag guys, like Lamar has a Q tag, and I guess he fell to late 3rd here. So yeah, maybe I should have wrote him up because I was like, that one's not real. But yeah, the Q tag matters, man. People. That article's free, by the way, if people want to check it out.
Nice.
It's the newest article.
I usually do like all my DraftKings drafts like basically this time of the year, but I've been slower on BBM than I want it to be, so I don't know how many I'm going to jam in. But this is making me want to.
It's good, man.
On the site,
it's good over here.
Like, oh man, 6'10", Travis Hunter. Jesus.
So we're up. Top of Psychic Jones, Olave, Jennings, Adunze, Judy, Addison.
Yeah.
Anything you like here?
Probably Olave or Addison would be the top 2 that stand out to me.
Yeah, I like Olave.
All the way back. Yeah, I think
Addison might come back because Addison has the out tag.
Yeah, if we were gonna do a running back, I would be Caleb Johnson over Aaron Jones. But that's kind of not a popular.
I'm nervous about Caleb Johnson, man.
He looked great these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's looked good.
With the starting O-line, looked way better.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think he's got a squeeze going, and he's a 2-down guy. Like I think Warren can play. They're using Kenny Gainwell as their Isaiah Davis.
But like that's not going to hold up, I don't think.
I don't know, man. I do not trust Arthur Smith on this stuff.
Really provide this team? Like he's just a worse version of Jalen Warren.
Yeah, maybe that's definitely a path where it's like, okay, Caleb Johnson's playing more, Jalen Warren's getting fewer snaps, and they just like phase out Kenny Gainwell and give Jalen Warren the Kenny Gainwell role.
If anything, Kenny Gainwell is like really bearish for. I don't think he's actually bearish for anyone because he's Kenny Gainwell personally. But if someone's telling me Kenny Gainwell is going to play, that makes me lower Warren more than it lowers Johnson, because that's like what Jalen Warren does. Is like he's like Kenny Gainwell plus he can run. So to me, like if they're planning on using Kenny Gainwell, then it's like, well, what is the point of Jalen Warren, because he has no opportunity to role expand. Whereas
although Warren's ahead of Caleb Johnson as the early down guy right now.
Well, for right now,
maybe he loses that, but
Jalen Warren's been on this team for 4 years, and they've used him in the same role the whole time. I think that like I wrote up this backfield yesterday. To me, like their plan A is very obvious, which is Caleb Johnson in the Najee role and Jalen Warren in the Warren role. And it's just how long does it take for them to trust Johnson enough to get him into that plan A? And so I think that's just where this inevitably is going. And maybe that's not where it is right away. And there's some Gainwell stuff. But like if you're telling me that Gainwell is going to play such that Warren isn't even going to monopolize, all of the touches while Johnson's ramping up to speed, then that just makes me like never want to click Jalen Warren. I'm not convinced Gainwell's going to play, but that's a thing that makes me like really spooked about Warren. It doesn't really affect my point of view about Johnson, because I already think he's not going to play that much in the early season.
Yeah, but he's going so much higher than other guys. Like
he was, but he's dropping now. He was going 6.
Yeah, but the story you're telling me is like, what's the difference between him and Cam Scatterbo?
I think Johnson's like a pretty clearly better player. I think that
I had Scatterbo higher as a prospect. I have Tootin higher as a prospect too.
This is just probably an eval differential. Like I was a lot higher on Johnson than a lot of other like numbers people. Not to use that derogatorily, but I had Johnson. Well, I had him 4 going into the draft in my like dynasty ranks, and then in my like real life NFL GM stuff, I had him 3. I think he's a really, really good runner.
Okay. Yeah. My stuff's fantasy minded. So part of the reason that I have him lower is that he looks like concerningly 2 down. He looks really like, and he ends up in a situation where I think he's just not going to catch passes as a rookie.
I don't agree with. Well, I think he's a 2-down player, but I think if you play with Aaron Rodgers, you're going to absorb early down targets. Every running back that plays with Aaron Rodgers gets early down targets. Like Eddie Lacy would sell off the field every 3rd down for James Starks. He was still putting up 45 catches in seasons.
Did AJ Dillon catch passes?
Sometimes when he played. He didn't play much with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's like you can catch passes with Aaron Rodgers if you're out there on 2nd down or whatever.
And I don't think Johnson, like the whole Iowa team, never threw the ball. Like his rate stats are kind of in the range where like
his yards per run sucked.
Wherever you want it to be. Like it's like I don't think he's a great pass catcher by any stretch, but we've seen guys like Fournette or like who also were in like similarly really, really run heavy offenses kind of blossom. Yeah, so AJ Dillon had, I don't know which years of these were with Rodgers or which weren't, but he had a season with 34 catches. He had a season with 28 catches. Like,
okay.
Are we back up here?
Not quite yet. We got 2 more picks here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. I've scrolled down too far so you can't see.
Yeah, this I know we don't exactly need a receiver, but Addison seems so much better than everybody else right now.
We also don't not need a receiver. We have 4.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah,
receivers
we went quarterback and we went tight end. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Addison would be a treat here then.
Yeah, receivers are kind of where the value is too.
Man, that was what I enjoyed about last night's stream. Finally, we got Sean Siegel talking about Jordan Addison the way I talk about Jordan Addison. But
He
people were a
loves
lot
him.
nicer to him. Yeah, and he's right.
And here he is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, now he's on our team. Sweet. Yeah.
All right, so we are.
I wish Siegel was on ADP chasing that day when I was trying to extol the virtues of Jordan Addison.
Are you into Dobbins here? If he comes back, is it running back too?
Yeah, it could be. I've
Shakir.
I've developed the conspiracy theory that Dobbins actually is just going to come out and see like 60% of the carries in week 1, but they just put him out there on third downs to protect Bo Nix, and they otherwise would have just rested him.
That's interesting.
But I hope that's not the case. I have more Harvey, but that's how I'm trying to reconcile this, like the differential in reporting versus actions.
So Shakir's still here. He's 10 picks past ADP. We've got Andrews, tight end. He is Khalil Shakir. That is true. We can get like the receive. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like receivers that I like Burden is at 132.
I would take Reed and Burden before like Shakir. Like
I like Reed a lot. ETN, B-Rob, Dobbins. I feel like Dobbins would be
I think Dobbins
for this team.
Yeah, okay. Like probably my highest ranked is like Scadaboo, but he'll come all the way back around.
Right. And we're like literally slotting those points right in because we don't have an RB2.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So through how many rounds are we through? 9 rounds. So we got Gibbs, Bowers, Tyreek, Pickens, Jalen Hurts, Travis Hunter, Chris Olave, Jordan Addison, and Dobbins. Someone asked before where we're at on Pickens and Devontae.
I'm higher on Pickens.
He says, I find it tough to pass on Smith over Pickens. Maybe it is a better real-life wide receiver bias. First of all, I think Pickens is really good. I think Smith's probably better. But Pickens is also really good. So
there's a case by the numbers that Pickens is as good or better. I mean, he has 2 seasons of 2 yards per route run. Smith has, I think, 0. I don't think it's that massive of a gap between them in talent. Like, I think if they were on the same team, I think Smith would outscore him, but I think it'd be pretty close. And Pickens' team is going to drop back like 120 more times, 150 more times.
Yeah. I mean, I would say like Eagles will probably be like 575 dropbacks, and the Cowboys probably like 675 or they probably have 100 more dropbacks.
And then you could probably lop off another 20 or 25 because Hurts is going to scramble more of those than Prescott will.
Right, actual targeted passes.
Yeah. So, and they're almost in the exact same situation. Like you have AJ, you have CD, you have Goddard, you have Ferguson. Although Goddard's better than Ferguson, like from a talent perspective, I think pretty clearly. You have like running backs who aren't really going to draw targets. You have like a nothing burger of a third receiver. Like I think that their rate stats are going to be pretty similar, but you're just projecting Pickens over like a much larger sample of routes.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, I wrote up Devontae Smith's potential to break out this year, and I was struck by, if the Eagles pass more, you are like, oh, right, this dude, because he was scoring well last year. He was, I think he had like 15 PPR points per game last year, and it was
part of that as well. AJ was out. He was like
AJ missed some time, but AJ tends to miss some time. And so. Yeah, and you have that contingent value element that Pickens also has as well. I think the Pickens contingent value element is stronger because the Cowboys can't turn to the run game. Where if like AJ Brown's out, the Eagles are not going to, like, let's say the Eagles are dropping back more at like a 600 drop back pace, and then AJ Brown gets hurt. Well, they're headed back to the 550 drop back pace. Like they're not going to be airing it out with Devontae Smith as their only dominant outside wide receiver. So. I think Pickens, they like don't have a choice. They're going to have to just pass the ball no matter what.
Yeah.
But I go back. Smith does have. Smith has yards per route runs of 1.73, 2, 1.91, and 2.03, including the playoffs. So he has been very good.
Yeah. Yeah, the contingent upside's pretty big there. I mean, I think there's advantages to Smith's position contingent-wise in the sense that, like, if Brown does go down, at least he'll still have to stack the box for Barkley, so he's going to have more efficiency outcomes there. Whereas, like, if CeeDee Lamb went down, like, I think the Cowboys' offense would just be a disaster. And, like, yeah, Pickens will have a higher target share, but, like, do I trust George Pickens to carry an offense basically entirely by himself, where teams are just doubling him on every play and dropping back in a cover 2 shell like that? That doesn't seem awesome to me, to be honest. I like having him being able to work off of CeeDee Lamb.
Me too.
Get like the better coverage.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Okay.
Are we back here yet?
We're back here. We could go Goddard would be probably where my head's at, although that's way ahead of ADP. He's going to come back. Lawrence, we could also do with Hunter. May is here.
Yeah, Drake May is here. That seems like a good
Let's
idea.
just do that.
Yeah, that seems like what I would probably want to do. Yeah. Yeah, I guess, and we're in DraftKings now, so I guess that's probably the biggest difference between the sites other than the PPR is that, like, the Fields type becomes like a much worse click, right? With the lack of the 300-yard bonus potential.
Yeah, it hurts him a bit for sure. But he
has his game. Penix.
He has the 100-yard rush bonus.
Oh, that's true. Right, the 100-yard rush bonus. I bet Fields has more games with hitting the 100-yard rush bonus than hitting the
300-yard pass bonus.
Actually, I don't even think that's like a joke. Like, I would be shocked if that weren't the case.
Higgins here is a receiver. Goddard's now not super likely to come back. We want to do that. We probably should just do it.
I think
Kirk Burden is another reach.
No interest in Scatterbo. He's playing week 1 now. Apparently, he's back in practice.
Yeah, sure, we can take him.
They subbed out Tyrone Tracy for Devin Singletary on the goal line in preseason.
That is not good for Tyrone Tracy, and very good for Scatterbo.
Pretty good for Scatterbo because, like,
it's pretty good for Scatterbo.
I don't think that's good for Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like they gave Tyrone Tracy a chance. He had like a really bad rep where he probably should have scored, but he didn't. And then they yanked him and they put in Singletary the very next play.
Damn. Dude, Ollie Gordon just went 124.
Oh my God.
Got to get over here, man.
Good thing we got that 20th round share.
Let me, if people are trying to draft over on DraftKings, there's a QR code right here. Right on the side of the stream. You can scan that. That'll get you over to this tournament. That's the DraftKings $20 Best Ball Millionaire tournament. And they're offering a $20 bonus ticket if you enter the tournament right now. They got that promo going. We also have a promo going in partnership with DraftKings, where if you're a Sidekick subscriber, it's the tool here that we got with the dynamic rankings, you can get a $20 bonus ticket to DraftKings $20 Best Ball Millionaire tournament as well. 2 separate offers there. Just head on over to legendaryupside.com/sidekick if you're interested in getting that. If you want to do the yearly, by the way, it covers playoff best ball, all of pre-draft best ball, and all of next year until August 22nd. Full 12 months with the yearly subscription. And yeah, head on over, check out Legendary Upside. As I mentioned, I have a free article up this morning. I've got my legendary running back article coming out in the next. I'm hoping to get it out tomorrow morning. We'll see. It might be more like it's going to be done when I'm going to get it out as soon as I'm done writing it. I'm trying to get it done as soon as I can. But that I always put that article out free as well. So look forward to getting people's reactions on that.
That's always a really fun one. I always look forward to it. I don't think I've ever said this before. Are you familiar with the album, or specifically the single Inspector Norse by Todd Terje? So, like, your Sidekick logo looks identical to the Inspector Norse record cover, which I just put a link to in the private chat.
So I got to talk to Zach Lenars because he's the designer. Oh my god. Yeah.
Every time I see the sidekick, I'm always like, yeah.
That's hilarious.
If there's any Inspector Norse fans in the chat, hit me up.
Tootin goes. That's a bummer.
That sucks. Yeah. Always hate seeing facial Tootin go. Billy knows what I'm talking about. All caps. Whoa. Inspector Norse, Todd Terje. Amazing call out. Fuck yeah.
You'd love to see it.
That's like the majority of my references is that 98% of people, but that 2%, they really,
it's a good spot to be in, people get fired up.
It's depth over breadth. Yeah.
All right. So
Goddard's still available.
We have the potential to stack him. We have 2 unstacked quarterbacks right now, but that's going to change relatively soon. We can do Goddard.
May.
We also have Stevenson available, which I mean, he fits this team really well. You got to say.
Who, Ramondre? Oh, yeah, totally does.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Goddard
not above
goes.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Okay. All right. I didn't know how deep the Henderson love went. Can you still see that Ramondre is gonna like pretty clearly have the early down stuff to begin the year? Yeah,
for like a week or 2.
I think it's gonna be a while. These are hardos. Like McDaniels is a hardo to the level that it gets him fired repeatedly. Like he has like he doesn't seem like an easy person to deal with. So yeah,
no, I think he's a rational coach.
It'll happen. It'll happen. Henderson's taking the job. I'm not saying he's not, but it's not going to be like week 4.
I'm not so sure about that.
Okay. Let's get Luther Burden in here.
So sure about that. I don't.
Where are you at on Ayuk? Are you just like not touching him, or when he gets down this low?
I think this low is fine. I wouldn't take him over Burden, but if Burden,
I wouldn't take him over Burden either.
Yeah. How late does Hunter Henry go on this site? Do we need to do this now, or can we do this later?
Henry has a 163 ADP. We are at 166. We can push him.
That's where we're risking that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other guys, if we want to look at Kyle Williams, he's at 165. Demario Douglas is at 148. So Douglas would actually be the one.
I don't really want to take Pop over Burden or Ayuk. Stacks be damned.
I agree, especially because we're talking about our wide receiver 6, and we have Tyreek, Pickens, Hunter, Olave, Addison. So we don't like need Pop.
What's going on at running back? Anything interesting? Because we got 4 now, right? We have Gibbs, Dobbins, Scatterbo. Yeah, no one interested. Oh, I like Sampson, but Burden's the pick.
Burden's the clear click here.
Yeah,
I can't like this is crazy. It's
you can just draft
147.
Luther Burden and pick 147 on this site like regularly. That's like
regularly. This isn't even like, I mean, it is because I'm kind of like zooming out and getting fired up about it. But like, if I was just sitting in my office just drafting, I'd be like, oh, sweet. Yep, it's time to take Luther Burden.
Pick
friggin' round 13.
Right after Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen just went. Dusty veteran who might get traded to the Vikings to help them fill in 3 games before turning to dust.
The Olamide Zaccheaus stuff is one of the craziest things we've ever done as a community. That like
it's
the degree
crazy.
to which people are like viewing Olamide Zaccheaus as an obstacle. It's like just say what you really mean, which is that you don't think Luther Burden is good. Because
say what you really mean, which is that you're afraid. I'm afraid.
I'm a little bitch.
I'm a little bitch. Who drafts Olamide Zaccheaus instead of Luther Burden?
Like this is the way I would put it. Let's pretend that the nightmare scenario actually does happen, and through week 8, Olamide Zaccheaus is just consistently locking down the role. Luther Burden's never playing. Olamide Zaccheaus then gets hurt. Do you think Luther Burden is going to play well after that? Because I don't. I think if Luther Burden can't beat out Olamide Zaccheaus for like 2 months of the regular season, that says a lot more about Luther Burden than Olamide Zaccheaus. Like to me, let's just take the swing on the really high upside boom bust 2nd round pick who used to be like the Devi 101 ahead of Ted McMillan coming into this season. And let's just see if he can beat out like 7th year perpetual journeyman rotational wide receiver Olamide Zaccheaus. Let's just find out.
Let's find out. I thought we weren't doing this anymore. I thought we had kind of all agreed that upside should not be underpriced to this degree. This is crazy to me. This is like, I've compared it to the Garrett Wilson thing, and he's not the prospect that Garrett Wilson was. Garrett Wilson was definitely a better prospect, like a lot better. Garrett Wilson is sort of like Luther Burden, but then Luther Burden didn't finish off the profile, right, and Garrett Wilson did. So it's not the same that way. But the situation is arguably better for Luther Burden. Like, imagine if you had Garrett Wilson on the Bears. We'd be
imagine if Garrett Wilson was with a top 2 quarterback who played really terrible as a rookie, and then we thought he was going to rebound the next year. Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's definitely downside. There's definitely downside. But we would be excited if Garrett Wilson had been in this situation.
Yes, we would.
If we knew, he's Garrett Wilson. Like, the situation's only concerning because we're not sure if the guy's good. But if the guy's good, then the situation becomes pretty awesome because he can just he's gonna have the slot targets in a Ben Johnson offense. We've seen that work pretty well.
Yeah. But Olamide's locked into a role.
Yeah.
Can't get him out of it.
It's Olabisi. It is Olabisi Johnson.
They even have the same name. Olamide, Olabisi.
They do. History rhymes.
Yeah.
Kyle Williams here. Hunter Henry goes.
God, I feel like I just got shot.
You want to do Williams? I wrote up Hollywood actually as a guy to target on the Q tag. I think we take Williams here, but
am I living in crazy world? You're trying to sell me on Hollywood. You were the one who got me to stop taking Hollywood.
Well, yeah, and I was right, but he's like 40 picks later now.
Okay, fair. Wasn't there like rumors he was going to get cut a while ago, or those are done? He's making.
I think he's good.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm like Hollywood. He's back at practice.
Okay.
It seems fine. There was rumors that he was like Reed goes, oh, he avoided surgery, and we're like, surgery? Right. Who? Very real kind of. Why are we talking about surgery? Sort of vibes, but yeah, he's back at practice, and I think that the Q tag on him is pretty fake.
Okay. That's good.
So if you need the depth, I think he's in play. Algier here at running back is interesting. Let's look at running back too. It's pretty wiped out, and we only have 4. But we do have Gibbs.
I like Algier. Seems like a substantially better bet than any of the rest of these guys.
I agree. We can do that.
Or Shipley. I guess Shipley is like an equally good bet, but he goes later. So let's do it.
I think Algier is a meaningfully better bet than Shipley just because we know he's good.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, we don't really need the 8th receiver. Let's take Algier.
No, let's do Algier. I think we can strongly suspect that Will Shipley is good. Eric Bimeford definitely knows that Will Shipley is good.
He's got a bag.
I was told that he has 67% of Will Shipley. Could you confirm or deny that?
I can't confirm or deny that. I am going to do a pod with him. I think we're pushing it back over the weekend, so I have more time to write. But we're going to be podding together soon, and I'll ask him. I know he's got a lot.
Yeah, I was told 67% exposure. I don't know if that was a reliable source, but that was something that made its way to my text messages.
I just with Shipley, I guess this is probably a philosophical thing where it's like, how much do you value the contingent upside versus like clear contingent upside versus having a path to creating your own value?
Right.
And Shipley has no path to creating his own value. Yeah, no, they are very similar. Yeah. But I think Algier's like Shipley. The other thing why I'm not quite as high on Shipley is like I'm not sure what's his snap share Barkley misses? Isn't it like 60%? It's not 80.
I think it's like 75 or 80.
Really? I don't.
I mean, unless they like sign someone. I mean, I thought he was like a pretty. I think he's going to excel in the passing game, but he's done that while handling a lot of carries at Clemson. He unfortunately did cede a lot of carries to Phil Maffa, which at the time we thought was fine because we probably thought Phil Maffa was better.
Yeah,
turns out to be
right.
So Dabo was feeling Phil, and that's not great. But I think he's like at least like a Rachaad White, like at worst, like he's like a really good pass catcher who's like a serviceable runner in a pinch. And like, I don't know if Rachaad White was the RB2, and he was with AJ Dillon. It's like, it'd be one thing if they had like a good runner on the team, but they have AJ Dillon. So it's like, do we really need to take Shipley off the field for AJ Dillon? I guess AJ Dillon is Phil Maffa, and they took.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, man. If you can't keep Phil Maffa off the field, you can't keep anybody off the field. Which is a sneaky way for me to neg Jaden Blue.
I mean, unfortunately, like I'm about to lose my like 18% Miles Sanders to being released in favor of Phil Maffa. So I think maybe Phil Maffa's better than we thought.
Yeah, I still don't think that happens, but it seems.
I think it happens. I've taken him out of all of my rankings. Yeah.
Yeah, we've lowered him considerably. It's sacrilegious is saying Broadus is still saying it's Sanders who makes the team, and he's the most reliable guy. So
that's dude, like that just made my day.
Like, we'll see though. I mean, I don't know.
I'm never doing something like this again. Like I'm never. This is like, when you ever like, no, never mind. I don't think you have, but for the cool people in your chat, maybe the Inspector Norse lovers, if you ever done like a little too much drugs and you just like end up in the bathroom, you start bargaining with God, and you're like,
I think you have a different perspective of who I am than I actually am.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind that. That's true. You didn't know that Stephon Diggs substance real quick.
I lived in New York for 12 years, Jacob.
All right. So you're at the Interpol concert and you're bargaining.
With the Brooklyn Mirage.
That's how I feel with my Miles Sanders exposure right now. I'm just like, I promise I will never take a stand on like a Miles Sanders ass player again. God, if you just let him make the roster one time, God, please let him make the roster over Phil Maffa. I promise I'll never do this again. Oh, B-Rob to the Niners confirmed.
B-Rob to the 49ers?
Yeah, that is so good for me. Thank God. Dude,
it's a big
I've never been this lucky in my entire life. Yes! This is the only spot that was like good for me. I have 2% McCaffrey. I have 1% Garendo. I have 1% James. And I'm like, this probably doesn't work out mathematically. But now it does. So this rocks.
All right. What about Harold Fannin here?
Yeah, obviously. Let's do it.
Where are you at on Besh? Are you just done?
Pretty close to done.
Okay.
But I'd be fine like in the 20th round of a DraftKings draft.
Yeah, we can push it. You can push him late.
Man, I got fucking bailed out of
Oh, should we do Shipley?
On that one. Yeah. I'd do Will Shipley chasing. Fannin will come back to us.
Fannin will come back.
You've converted me to the church of Fannin.
Yes.
I did a main last night after you guys. We did the late window with Scott Barrett and Ryan Heath for fantasy points, and they took Njoku, and then I like pouted in the corner for a while, and I talked about Harold Fannin, and I've totally been converted that he's going to be the higher scoring tight end over the last 6 weeks of the season in Cleveland, and he's going to be their slot receiver from week 1, and yeah, it's happening.
Love it.
I've hit him every single one of my round 18 picks, I think, for the last week in all of my slows. Has just been rotating between Harold Fannin and Alec Aomanor. That's like the only 2 players in my queue.
All right. Fannin makes it back. Yeah, man. Fannin, I'm still not fully over us passing on Fannin the other night when I thought we were gonna get him with Ron. We did the
you were right. I was wrong. Although Hey, with
We got Coker.
Thielen getting traded to the Vikings, Coker's looking better and better.
Coker definitely looks better. I like Coker. I mean, it's not an anti-Coker thing at all.
Yeah.
Just sadness to not have Fannin. After I thought we were getting, once we started joking around about things that go in the water, I thought for sure we were getting Mr. Duck-footed, but
yeah.
All right, so Brian Robinson confirmed to the 49ers. Do we have trade compensation?
It's a 6th-round pick.
Sixth-round pick. Okay. So this doesn't affect McCaffrey at all.
Not much. No. I think it's like they're gonna do the thing that they always do with McCaffrey, where they're like, "Look, we need to take some load off Christian McCaffrey," but they're never gonna actually do it. So yeah, I think it's like it's basically just that all their other running backs are hurt. I don't even think it's. Look, I've been fading Garendo, and I'm happy that that he's a worse click now. But I wouldn't even say it's like a lock that B-Rob is going to be the 2 there by the end of the season. Like, I don't think B-Rob is really a fit for the Kyle Shanahan offense in any particular way.
He's Alfred Morrissey, I guess.
I don't think that he is. Like, Alfred Morris is like a glider. And
yeah, you're right. He's more like a power runner.
Better.
You know where he'd be better? He'd be better on the Rams as like a Kyron replacement.
Well, I thought he'd be good on the Texans where they're installing the Kaylee Rams gap system.
Good point. What are the Texans doing? Are they really just going to ride Nick Chubb?
I mean, they're going to be passing the ball.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Like they're yeah, this is big. I mean, it makes me way more excited about Ollie Gordon. I love it because I was pretty uncomfortably exposed to Gordon lately. I've been getting uncomfortably exposed to, obviously, like, I mean, if he signed with the Cowboys, it's over for the Miles Sanders dream. It's probably already over for the Roschon dream, but I'm still sitting on my May, June bag, so I'm just praying get CPR'd back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like, where would you take Robinson now? Like
let's look.
Robinson and Garendo, I feel like both should be like 16th, 17th.
So let's see. Robinson. Yeah, like I would start thinking about him around now. Is my honest answer. Like what I think I'm still I'd rather take like Keaton Mitchell over him.
Yeah, because like I would view Robinson and Garendo kind of like Corum and Hunter.
Yeah,
I don't know
me
that
too.
It's that obvious which one is the guy, but the upside is exciting enough that they're probably both draftable.
Jordan How could James you be sure that the guy they traded a 6th-round pick for, you know, in 2 weeks, literally 2 weeks before the season, is the locked-in backup? Like that seems overly confident.
For sure. For sure.
So you have to treat it like we don't know. And if we don't know, then like why are we even thinking about him until like the 18th, 19th, 20th? What do you want to do here? We're on the clock.
Yeah.
Papacycus, like Slate. We could do Coker. We could do Giddens.
Let's do
Mitchell, Franklin.
Ooh, I like Coker or Aomanor most at wide receiver. I would like Giddens or Manungai most at running back. Pick between those.
I'll do Aomanor. I haven't taken a ton. So I've been wondering if maybe we're sleeping on him a little bit, where he's like, I know he had the kind of a package. He's like moving around the formation, looking like, you know, he's like the kind of their motion guy, which is interesting. But he also does seem like he's probably still behind Van Jefferson, Tyler Lockett, and obviously Calvin Ridley. And
like he's a 4th-round pick. Like I don't care if he's behind Van Jefferson in August. I don't think that's like a death knell. He could pass Van Jefferson. He's Van Jefferson.
For sure. I guess there's been excitement about him where some of the other guys are being like are like falling a ton in very similar situations. So I guess I don't know. I want to be more excited, but I'm having trouble getting quite to the level.
Let's do Giddens.
Yeah, let's do Giddens. I feel like we're a little bit weaker running. How many running backs do we have? 6. You know, I would also float Troy Franklin as a guy who really hasn't been drafted much in this tournament.
All right,
let's
sure.
do
Fine with that too.
let's do Franklin. He's going to be like,
Yeah.
I think max he might be like a quarter drafted in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe a third.
With that. I think AO Manor is actually good. So he like popped a lot in all my stuff. And then I mean so like because I do all my dynasty stuff, like the podcast with Fantasy Points. So I talked to Brett Whitefield a lot, does their draft guides, their key film charter. He had AO Manor like wide receiver 3 in the whole class, just from his film grade. Loved him. And he was like talking off to me a lot. I know that there was like some sort of contradictory film stuff. He seemed like a pretty polarizing player. You can find guys who are really out on him. But I was excited enough. Like going into the draft, I had him ranked pretty highly. I obviously lowered him a lot after he doesn't get the draft capital. But I think it's that Cam Ward has looked quite good to me in the preseason. So that's encouraging. It's not like I'm hearing really any buzz about Lockett and Van. It's more just like,
no,
they're the guys right now. And then I've heard a lot of positive stuff about AO Manor. Considerably more positive buzz on AO Manor than like Chimere DK, who they actually drafted.
I don't even understand why that happened. Like, how do you
I don't know why that happened either.
DK over Imanor if you like Imanor?
Yeah.
If your team really willing to draft Imanor, how the hell did DK go first?
That was super weird. But like, I don't think, but like, I haven't even heard of anything on DK. So I think Imanor is clearly ahead of DK. And then Van like made like a horrific drop in the preseason on like Cam Ward's best pass. Like I don't know. I just, and it's not even just like Titans beat reporters. Like I forget who it was. There was at least 2 national guys who visited the Titans and they took to Twitter to just be like, man, they have something in AO Manor. Like he's a really interesting rookie. So like there was the Graziano thing where they went and they were like, they're really excited about both rookies, especially AO Manor. And then I forget if it was like Solak or it was like one of those guys who like went to the Titans camp and was like, I was really impressed with AO Manor. So I'm hearing a lot of good stuff. I thought he was really undervalued as a prospect of the draft. And then the path to being a number 2 there is just so open. Like all you have to do to play is get ahead of Van Jefferson. And then once you get ahead of Van Jefferson, you just have to be better than Tyler Lockett. And then you're the wide receiver 2 for the Titans. And they have, Spears is hurt. Tony Pollard's receiving stuff has been kind of trash the last 2 years. And then Chig is like fine, but he's not the most imposing tight end. Like it's just the pathway if AO Manor is actually good, which is unlikely, I guess, because he went in the 4th round of the draft. But if you believe it all, like, I don't know, it seems like there's 100 targets just sitting there for somebody to claim them if they're good enough for them.
It's a good case. Yeah. And Ward could be really good too. So you get the kind of correlated what if these guys hit together. It's a little Tank Dell-ish that way.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's I think it's exciting. Like I want to be taken. It's weird that there's a rookie quarterback who's exciting with a play caller who historically has called really high pass rate offenses. He didn't last year, but I think that's because he hated Will Levis.
He had Will Levis. Yeah.
Like I don't think that's because he philosophically changed his mind on football. No. So like I don't know. It's weird that all we draft is Calvin Ridley in the 5th and like late shots on Chig, and everybody else is sometimes not drafted. Like there's room for a guy there, and I think like from a prospect perspective, like I think AO Manor is way more interesting than Dante Thornton, and like I would rather have him straight up. I know Dante Thornton's already starting, but like the difference between AO Manor starting the same way Thornton starting is Van Jefferson, but I get to me like a way better prospect, and I don't have to compete with Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers and Ashton Genty. Like I just get to compete with Ridley and nobody else. It's way more interesting to me.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that Thornton taking a job in minicamp is like very, very bullish.
Yeah, that's fair.
But so we got Royals, Coker here. Giddens goes just one pick before us.
What's our structure right now?
We've got 2, 6, 9, 2. So we could go to 10 receivers. We could take one of these running back flyers, but there's not much left.
Yeah, Coker's like the best. Coker's the best pick, but if we were going to go running back for roster construction reasons, I guess I'd go Brashard Smith. He's been getting reps with the ones in the last week, and Elijah Mitchell is so cut.
Yeah, I'm back in on Smith as a kind of PPR scammed guy at the end of the season, which this team could maybe use because we have Stevenson, Dobbins. That second running back spot, I could see him like filling in for a week or two.
Yeah, and Mitchell like is all but already been cut to me. Like he's
gone,
5% to be cut.
Yeah. All right, let's review the team here. We've got Gibbs, Bowers, Tyreek Hill, Jakob Sanderson drafting Tyreek Hill. What's going on? George Pickens, Jalen Hurts. Never stacked him up, but we got Will Shipley. So we got the
we did stack him up, man. Yeah. You know what? I think those two. I'm willing to say this. I think those two might be more correlated than Hurts with any other Eagle, because if you think about it from a season-long perspective, what's the way that Hurts goes totally nuke? It's not like AJ Brown doing well or Devonta Smith like they're already doing well. It's Saquon Barkley gets hurt, and all of a sudden they're calling QB draw from the 5 every time they get into the red zone. They're passing it 100 times more for the season. Hurts and Shipley massively correlated. Like I also love like Lamar and Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, all right, I'm into it. Hunter, Olave, and Addison. Dobbins, we get Drake May, stacked him up with Kyle Williams later, and Ramondre. Cam Scatterbu, Ramondre. So that's 4 running backs through 12, but we got Gibbs, so we're good there. Hero running back build. Luther Burden, just at pick 147, not a big deal for some reason. Kyle Williams, Tyler Algier, Will Shipley, get the handcuffs. Harold Fannin, Alec Imanor, who I think I'm gonna raise up a bit after Jacobson Passion case. Troy Franklin, little leverage piece, and then Brashard Smith, who might be making a comeback. It's been real hot and cold here with Brashard Smith. I can't keep track of if we're in or out, but it sounds like maybe we're in.
It's tough. I'm just a little bit.
And Kay, thanks you for making them feel better about 56% Shipley.
Wow, should turn into legendary sickos if you really want to feel good about that.
Yeah, seriously, we'll be doing that. I think this weekend. Let me tell people that I'll be back here today. Back later today with a solo stream at 2 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Doing another DraftKings draft. I'm a DK partner for DK Best Ball Week, so closing out the week with one more stream. And hope to see you guys there. Jacob, anything you want to tell the people about? I know you've been doing a ton of writing.
Yeah, man. A lot of writing up on Thinking About Thinking right now. So I've been doing sort of what is my preseason Hitchhiker's Guide, where I basically just go through what I think are the most interesting storylines for backfields prior to the season. I have pieces up from last week on the top 6 by ADP, which ones I think are the most likely to finish RB1. And then I'm currently running through kind of all the ambiguous rookie backfields. So I posted yesterday about the Patriots, where I just basically slobbered over Travion Henderson. And then
I could have written that one for you.
yeah. Like straight Henderson, dude, he rocks. And then talked about the Broncos, the Steelers, and the Commanders. Obviously, I mean, who doesn't want Commanders backfield content right now? And then sometime between today and tomorrow, I will write up the Browns, the Cowboys, the Jaguars, and the Giants. So some of the guys we took on this team. I already have my home league rankings up. I have targets. I have updated BBM, FFPC, and redraft rankings all as of this morning. So you can check those all out. And we'll be finishing out content season strong before we get going here in week 1.
Awesome. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll be back later today, and I'll see you then.